it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is going to be the budget results for the second paycheck in the month of October. That week flew by. It was another week where I did not do a great job at tracking my spending in my deluxe monthly planner. I didn't put a single transaction sticker down this week at all. So I'm gonna try really hard to be better about that for week 3, but this week was not so great in terms of that, which is fine because I still think that I am under budget, at least overall. Maybe not in the categories themselves, but overall I am. So let's just go ahead and get started. I have everything that I need. I do have my deluxe monthly planner off to the side in case I need it. I have my Conscious wallet here, which has my cash envelopes so I can check in with my envelopes. I have my phone here, which I got a new phone case. Isn't that pretty? I'm loving that. But this will act as my calculator. I have my erasable pens from Parkoo, which I talk about in every single one of my videos. I love them. I love that I can write in ink, but still erase my mistakes. These write really beautifully. I have them linked in my description box as well as everything else that I used in today's video. And I have a black and a red pen here because if I am under budget, I write in black, and if I'm over budget, I write in red. And that's just how I keep track, so that I can go back in prior weeks and look and see which categories I am over budget in. And if I'm finding that I'm over budget in a certain category over and over and over again, then that tells me I need to take a look at my spending habits, take a look at my budget, and maybe up the budget for that category. So I have everything I need here. This is my budget by paycheck workbook, which you guys already know I love. So let's just get started. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started with grocery. So I need to actually look back at my Walmart grocery app to see exactly what I spent, because again, I didn't use my transaction stickers this week. I was not very good about that. So looking back, it looks like I spent, my order total was $154.80, but some of that I know is household items. So let me just go ahead and do the math really quickly here and figure it out. So I just have a little notebook here from Erin Condren. So we had $154.80 was my total. And in terms of my household items, I had some cat food and some cat litter and whatnot. So let me add those up really quickly here on my calculator. We had $18.98 for cat food. Sorry if this is really boring, you guys. We had $3.97 for flushable wipes. We had $1.56 for baking soda. We had $9.32 for cat litter. So that was $33.83 in household items. So as we can see, since my household budget was $25, I'm over budget in that category. But if we take that $154.80 minus $33.83, means we spent $120.97 on groceries. So not too terrible in groceries. In terms of the household items, I did buy my mother-in-law a bag of cat food, which she has not yet paid me for. So I'm over budget for now. But once she pays me for that cat food, I will have been under budget. But it's fine. I'm not too caught up in the drama of, you know, $18 or whatever it was for the cat food. So $33.83 for household, $120.97 for groceries. All right, next we have Michigan Gas, which I can take a look at my planner here and see what that bill came in at. So I budgeted $40 for Michigan Gas, and that's exactly what I paid. So we'll go ahead and mark that in. And I did pay some of these bills ahead a little bit because I had the money and I was able to. I'm still trying to finagle my bills and get them sort of rearranged so that I'm paying about the same amount every single week in bills, so that I'm not spending like $600 in bills one week and then $120 the next week. Still trying to figure that out, so bear with me. For DTE, I budgeted $220 and that came in at $212. So that's under budget as well. For car insurance, it was $260 that I budgeted, and I paid $256. Lastly, Next, I have bike insurance, which I budgeted $40 for, and I actually didn't write down how much it came out as, so let me do a quick check and find out. That came out as $33.26. Lastly, I have Discover, which I'm not really sure why I put Discover here. Again, I think it was just me trying to rearrange my bills. But my Discover bill is actually not due to, the statement's not due to come out until the end of the month, like on the 29th, as you can see here. So this is still a few weeks away. So I need to rearrange some things and make sure that I include Discover in an upcoming budget, but for now I'm just going to mark that as 0. I don't really know where my thought process was with adding that in there. So obviously I'm going to be significantly under budget, but that's because I didn't end up paying anything to Discover. This Discover payment will be made in the future instead. So let me go ahead and get my calculator back out here and add up these totals. So we have $120.97 plus $33.83 plus $40 plus $212 plus $256 plus $33.26 for a total of $696.06. So yeah, really under budget, but again, that was just poor planning on my part. I don't really know what I was thinking adding that in. So I'm significantly under budget here, but not because I was really great about spending, just because I was poor with the planning. Yeah, $138.94 under budget. Obviously, that money is not all mine. I will use that money towards this Discover card when that actually comes due. So this $138.94 is just going to go, or just going to sit in the bank rather, for the future. All right, moving on to cash envelopes. Once again, I didn't track any of my spending, so we're just going to have to kind of look at my envelopes and see where we're at. I know my husband didn't spend more than $40, so that's good. In terms of my spending, I budgeted $40. If I look at my personal envelope, it's empty. I definitely spent all of my personal money and then some. I'm actually probably going to not give myself personal money for the rest of October because I went on a bit of a spending binge. I have been shopping on Mercari, buying like a few clothing pieces, and I've been buying some tea and things, so not so great on my personal spending, but for now we're just gonna go ahead and mark in that I spent $40. Again, I did spend more than that. I kind of ate into my buffer quite a bit with that, but it's okay. It is what it is. All right, gas, 40 bucks. That envelope is also empty. We put the full 40 into my gas tank this week, and we also went into my gas sinking fund and took some money out. We drove quite a bit this week, and we also did a car wash. So that's where all of that money went. So we're gonna just go ahead and say that I spent that full 40. Eating out, also empty. You guys can see a trend here. Because I wasn't tracking super closely, I feel like we definitely spent more than usual. Typically when I go through my cash envelopes, I have money left in lots of categories, and that was just not the case. So definitely gonna try really hard next week to get back into tracking my transactions as they occur, and hopefully that will also mean less spending. So we did spend the full 40 in eating out. Lastly, I have miscellaneous, which, yep, you guessed it, also empty. All right, the only envelope left is my 2-bank envelope. It does have a little bit of cash in there, and that's going to go to the bank to cover some of the transactions that I made in these categories on my debit card. So yeah, not the greatest week in terms of spending. Obviously, I was not over budget, but I mean, I spent every single dime. Plus, like I said, I was using my buffer in my account. The problem is that I let that buffer get a little bit too big. And then I kept thinking to myself, oh, I've got all this extra money. I can spend a little bit here and there. And then the next thing I know, I've eaten through that buffer quite a bit. So now I got to put that money back. It just hasn't been a great time these past few weeks in terms of spending. I've been feeling kind of over it, over the budgeting, over, you know, being super strict with myself, just kind of wanting to spend. I go through this a couple of times a year. This is not new or unusual for me. I have to kind of walk a fine line with the thought process that I have here. So on one hand, I really, really want to pay down debt. I really want to make sure that I'm meeting my financial goals. And that means that I have to, you know, control my spending and be really good about paying our extra money to debt. And my cat just walked right in front of my window, so that was the shadow. Sorry, you guys. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, like, life is short. Do I really want to be super strict and not spend my money and, you know, pay down debt instead of buying fancy whatever it is? And for the most part, I'm really good about staying on this hand and knowing, like, this is my goal. I want to do really well. But a couple of times a year, I get antsy and I want to spend. And that's why it's more important than ever for me to make sure that I'm focusing on sinking funds and putting money away for things. So when I know that that's coming, when I feel that urge to spend coming on, I have the money set aside so I'm not just running up my credit cards. You know, some weeks are better than others. I've still made a lot of really great progress with my debt-free journey. I do still have a long way to go, but just being honest, you know, I have been spending more these past couple of weeks and feeling like we are never going to get through this. And obviously, spending more just means it's going to take longer, so it's counterintuitive, but that's just the way it's been for me. So, just being honest. So my envelope total, I spent that full $200. I don't know exactly how much over that I spent, how much I ate into my buffer. I need to do some math and really sit down and have like a come to Jesus meeting with myself, admit that I've been spending too much lately and kind of reel it in. But for now, we're just going to say that that was fine. One big win though this week was I finished my Christmas sinking fund, which is great. Now I can take all of that urge that I have been having to shop, and rather than buying myself stuff, I can really focus on getting my Christmas shopping started. That I think will really help with this sort of slump that I've been in. I was able to save $1,000 throughout the year so that I could give my kids a really nice Christmas, and that's a huge win. So I did put that last $150 into Christmas as planned, and that definitely made me feel a whole lot better in terms of the finances. Like, sure, maybe I haven't paid as much credit card debt as I wanted to. Sure, we had to, you know, have a few scenarios where we had to spend money that we didn't want to spend. I had to get a new washer and dryer, which I'm going to talk all about in my debt snowball update, which should be up tomorrow, provided that I get my act together and film it. So, you know, we've had a few stumbles here and there, but this was a big win. I was very happy to have completed that sinking fund, and, you know, I can give my kids a really great Christmas. So I didn't pay anything extra to debt or do any extra savings for this week, so that's essentially it. So not the greatest week. I mean, it doesn't look so bad on paper, but I still need to like sit down and really take a look and add up my receipts and figure out how much I did spend that I probably should not have. It's not a lot. I'm not talking about thousands of dollars, you guys. I'm talking about maybe a couple $100s. Nothing major. It was just little things like, you know, I wanted to shop. I really enjoy shopping. I can't shop in person the way I want, so I've been doing a lot of online shopping. So it is what it is. I'm human. I'm trying not to beat myself up over it. It's not like I, you know, ran up a credit card, so I'm okay with it. I just don't want to continue that behavior, so I'm trying to reel it in. All right, so that's it for my budget results video and a little bit of a heart-to-heart with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please take a second and give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me how you guys are doing. Are you also feeling a little bit overwhelmed and just over budgeting as we get kind of towards the last quarter of the year, or are you still going strong? Let me know. Am I alone in my feelings, or have you guys been there? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.